Hey guys, Tammy Anderson Ward here. I wanted to jump on today to talk a little bit about some of the fun things that happened at the Idaho Falls Energy Healing Conference this last Saturday. It was so much fun. Well, first of all, we started Friday night with the VIP night. We had some light refreshments as people came in. We did some giveaways. We had a highlight speaker, but we mostly did a meet and greet. So we got to know each other. So there was the speakers and the vendors that were invited, and then the VIP participants. And it was such a blast. Like I had so much fun with it. And I have Shell Gilbert is going to jump on with me today too. So we're going to discuss some of the details. Hey girl, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tammy?
Good. There's a little bit of feedback from your audio. Not sure if you can hear that or not. Maybe there's just two devices on or something like that. Weird. I can still hear it, but you're muted. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and go with it. How's that? So what was your favorite part of the event?
I was just so impressed by the amazing people there. I didn't get a ton of time to talk with all the vendors, but wow, I was blown away with the people that came.
That is awesome. You were in a spot that was so high traffic, so busy. If someone really didn't want to stop, like really want to stop, there was no room for them to stop because there was so many people.
Yes.
But I was so excited. I saw people walking around with your herbal first aid kit, and I was so excited. I was able to get the last one. I was curious, do you still have more of those if people wanted to come to a conference in the future? Are you going to be offering those?
Yeah, I still have them. I only just took a handful of things up for that conference because I knew I was traveling far. So yeah, here in Utah, it's easier. I have all the stuff, but I will definitely have more for everyone.
That's awesome. Oh, and I just accidentally shared the wrong link. Let me go ahead and delete that really quick. It says put user in timeout. I don't want to put myself in timeout.
Well, that's just mean. Yeah, I'm excited for you, Tammy, that you had the first aid kit. I think that you'll love that little ouch box.
I'm so excited. When we were emptying our stuff from the Suburban into the storage unit, I was like, no, don't put that in there. I need that.
That's mine. I love it. Yeah.
And you had some really great things in there too. Complete bone and tissue repair, which used to be called something really funny now.
BF&C ointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you love it in the natural world where we kind of have to switch things up to make it all legal?
It's really funny, but no, I really love that product. It's helped me with many, many things. My kid once got his hand stuck in an animal trap,
Oh, yeah.
And his fingers were all kind of mangled a little bit.
Oh, no.
We used bone trauma homeopathic, and then we used that also. We were in New York at the time. So that was really nice and handy to have.
Oh, yeah.
Another time, one of my kids lit themselves on fire on accident. You never know.
Oh, no.
Having kids, crap happens, right? And he got burned so bad that even his tissue of his back was really scorched. And we did that as a kind of a supplement to help him with rebuilding that tissue, and it was marvelous.
Yeah, it's a miracle cure for just about everything. I love it. My kids always know. If they come to me hurt, I always say, go get the complete tissue and bone ointment. Yeah. It also has the lower bowel capsules. I told everyone in the class, every time you come to me and you're sick, whether it's a cold or something like Hashimoto's, you want to open up your bowels. So flush the bowels. And even for kids, Dr. Christopher has the little kitty rag formula for kids. That's the same formula. And I love that. So a lot of people say, why is that in the first aid kit? It's because it's really important to clean out those toxins and help the rest of the toxins know where to go. So they don't go through your skin, or cause other inflammation.
Yeah, I love that. Well, awesome. What else was some of your favorite stuff?
I wish I could have gone to all of the classes, but luckily I was by some amazing people. I got to keep hearing Tamara's terahertz device. Sounded like a blow dryer, and I kept asking, what is that? So I didn't get to try it, but my husband did, and he said it was absolutely amazing. So yeah, and I got lots of great feedback from that. There were lots of amazing crystal and stone people. I talked to some of them. I use salt in my bath and shower, and just the big stone blocks, and a lot of people laugh, but as I was talking to them, most of them sold salt, and so that was fun to see that. They didn't know that you could use it for that. You know how you go to big salt rooms and breathe in. So
they have like that halo thing that like blows salt into the air.
Yeah. And so it was fun seeing some of their different ways of using the crystals and the salt and everything like that. So that was really cool. I really was walking around, like I'd go get some little things and saw so many people sitting and interacting in healing sessions. I saw some Reiki going on and foot zoning with joy around the corner and stuff. It was just so powerful how many people were actually connecting on a healing basis.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and if there's somebody that's on watching right now or on the replay, it doesn't have to be live, but if there's somebody that's watching right now and they weren't able to go to the conference, but they're curious about iridology and what you offer, where can they go to learn more about what you do?
So my website is thehealinghappymethod.com, and they can go, and all my packages are there. I have iridology. I wrote a book on detoxing, and so you can go find my book there and see what detoxing is all about. I did it as a systematic detox, so there's kind of more details. You can find the eye readings, and then just some of the basic products I taught about. Why I love the shower diffuser routine that I do so much, because the biggest theme I kept hearing from people is, oh, my little girl came in.
Oh, that's
Say hi. Is that you have all these techniques for breathing deeply and EFT tapping and mindset work. And for me, it felt overwhelming. And so I was able to combine all of that in a quick little 5-minute shower routine I can do every single day. And so it's really healing just to take what you know and put it in a way that you'll actually do it and then allow it to heal. So it's basically like put essential oils on the diffuser. Essential oils raise your vibration. Then you deeply breathe, check in, how you're doing, do some mindset work, EFT tapping, then turn on the cold water and let the stress go as you say, I am safe, I'm loved, I'm okay. I forgive myself. So just little things like that I find are so helpful when you go to a conference like this and you feel so overwhelmed. Just find little ways to do that. And I have some of that information on my website too.
I love that. I put your website up on the link so that people can see that. I also have the link in the comments for if you guys are watching right now and you'd like to get the audios for the conference, you can click on the other link as well and grab that. You can scroll all the way down to the bottom. So it's going to be fantastic. It's kind of like the next best thing. It's not as good as being at the conference, but it's the next best thing.
Yes.
So that's great. I love your website. I was just looking at it and checking it out.
Thank you. I have really updated some things about it to make it user friendly. So many times people just don't know where to start or what to do. And so hopefully it's kind of guided, like, this is what you need. Like, open up your bowels, start cleansing and detoxing. So, yeah.
Yep. That is awesome. I love it. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to go to the Idaho Falls conference. We have been doing conferences there since 2014, and we just love that community so much. It was a packed house. We had a very, very huge response and warm welcome. That was really fun to be able to experience that with everyone. So I guess I won't ask you about your favorite classes because you didn't go to any, but you went to one. You went to yours.
Yes.
What did you think about in your class?
I was so impressed with the knowledge people already had about herbs because I did teach first aid. I try to keep it to the common herbs that people can have access to instead of some of the ones from foreign countries and stuff. And so many of the people knew so many things. They just didn't know how to use them. I talked to so many people that say, I have essential oils. What do I do with them? And having a kit like this just shows you this is exactly what you can do, how to use it in an emergency. My very favorite herb of all time is cayenne pepper. And I was sharing how it can stop a heart attack. It can stop a bloody nose if you get a wound. Pour it on. If someone's in shock, like my son plays football, I will always say, I will run out on the field and give that to you so you're not in shock. It's just so helpful to have knowledge of a few basic herbs and what they can do.
Yeah, I honestly did not realize how beneficial cayenne pepper was. One time I think I was pregnant with my third baby, and I was on a trip in Florida, and my husband had cut himself really, really bad. And he went to the kitchen, grabbed cayenne pepper, and literally sprinkled it on the wound. He said it was bleeding so badly, and it stopped it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, did it hurt? And he said, like hell, it hurt so bad. But it stopped it. And then surprisingly, he actually sewed himself up.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know. I don't like needles, so I wouldn't have done that. But yeah, he was just like,
Yeah.
But the cayenne pepper was what was able to get it to stop. So.
Oh, yeah. I told this story in my class of going to Cabo, Mexico last year. My little girl that was just here a minute ago slipped and fell and cut her eye on a cement bench. And I picked her up and she had blood everywhere. It was a pretty deep gash. And I just immediately, my instincts kicked in. Of course, I had my herbal first aid kit with me. So I ran like the quarter of a mile to our room and just started pouring cayenne pepper on. And so many people question that because it's right by her eyeball. I mean, it was just in her eyebrow. And I put it on. She was okay. I rinsed it off and could see a little bit of blood left. So I put some more on. And that's where she kind of said, "Ooh, I think it's in my eye, Mommy." So I just washed it out and then took her in the bed part and put some lavender on her feet just to calm her down. And she fell asleep in my arms by the time EMTs got there. They didn't even know what to do. They said, "You have to go to the hospital." It was done bleeding. I knew if I just put some super glue on it and a bandage, she would be fine. And so they said, "Well, you're crazy." But, I have enough medical experience to know it was okay. But I was so grateful for the chance that I had to have that small kit right there. So I didn't have to waste a day of vacation, worry about her getting an infection in a hospital, and that she just woke up and was totally fine. So it's so helpful just to have little things here and there so that you are prepared if something happens, like your husband.
And knowing how to use them too. I like the card that you had, the laminated card. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's so helpful. Thank you so much. I think just a quick little reference. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, well, you could tell you really put your heart and soul into it. It was just really very, very cool. I was looking through going, wow, this is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you too. Thanks for putting on such great conferences, Tammy. I think everyone that was there told me they were just blown away with all the speakers and the environment. You just made a wonderful conference. So I really appreciate you allowing me to be there.
Thank you so much. Okay. Sounds good. We'll see you next. Thanks.
Okay.
We have another speaker that we're going to be joining in as well. This is the amazing Annika Wilder. How are you? You're live. We can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm muted. Can you hear me now?
You're good. We can hear you now.
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm wonderful. Yeah, I was just talking to Michelle about some of her favorite parts. What were some of your favorite highlights from the conference?
I loved that it was very busy in the good way. Like our booth was constantly busy, and I loved that. And I loved that so many people were open-minded, and there were a lot of people who hadn't heard of the mother wound or epigenetics or neurofeedback or biofeedback or even tapping. And so, but they were so open to learning. And so they would come to our booth and say, "Tell me about this. What is this?" So I loved that. And I loved who I was next to. I'm a big fan of Lindsay and Chance and Alethea. Like the other vendors are just super cool to get to know. And then, of course, just the energy. The energy was really good vibes all around. I have no complaints, honestly.
That is awesome. I love it. Well, I really appreciated your guys' participation and support as well. Where can people go to find out more about you if they weren't able to attend, but they're interested in working with you or your husband, Dan?
Yeah, so paleos.org, Pelios. Paleos is the god of emotion. So if it helps you, if you can't remember Paleos, you might remember God of Emotion, but paleos.org. I'm also on Instagram at never.over.think, because that's my whole thing, is to help women to stop overthinking, get out of their head. So that's where I'm at.
That was awesome. Oh, I don't think I put the right link up. I put in paleos.org and it went to Paleos Coaching.
That's fine. Yeah, it just redirects.
Oh, is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Sorry. I'm like, this looks different than the last time I went on here. That's awesome.
You're good. Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell everybody who's watching right now, if they weren't able to get on, what kind of stuff were you guys talking about? Like, what is the mother wound again?
Yeah, and my screen is frozen, so hopefully you can at least hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So so the mother wound is basically a collective trauma that's passed down from generation over and over and over and over. And that could be things from society, like mother are meant to stay home and men are to provide. Men or women weren't even allowed to vote. And so there were society norms that affected women, and that those ideas and beliefs of women not being good enough were passed down over and over and over. And even though now we are treated better in society, we still have those epigenetic wounds that live inside of us. And so many women struggle with not feeling enough. And another part of the mother wound is whatever your mother or grandmother or great grandmother did, and it's always been that way, and they expect you to do it that way. And if you try to do anything differently, they will be offended or hurt. But if you do it exactly the way they want to, then you will not be fulfilled and you will be holding yourself back. So it's like only one person wins in that scenario. And so there's the mother wound is multifaceted, but that's a huge part of it, is basically these beliefs and these norms that have been passed down over and over and over. And so at Paleos Academy, we are striving to bring the unconscious beliefs and those passed down limiting beliefs to consciousness and to rewire those through vocal mapping and through tapping. And it's just a really beautiful process. And the more you heal your mother wound, you heal the earth as well.
Wow, I love that so much. That's awesome. I can't tell you how important I really think that is. Like, I just, that's so yummy. In fact, I used to believe that my kids had to do things just like me, but like in the last year and a half to 2 years, I finally got to the point where I was like, if you don't want to have kids, you don't have to have kids. If you want kids, you can have kids. Like, if you want to be a plant mom or a dog mom, I'm cool with that. I will buy you a keychain, like I'm super supportive, like whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's been a recent thing for my family. So yeah, I'm glad to know that there's lots of healing that can happen from that. And the epigenetics part of it has been so powerful for a lot of people. They didn't understand what that was or how it affected them. I mean, because it could be affecting you without you even knowing it, right?
Yes, exactly. And I shared your story because it was just too good, and you shared it on Facebook. So I was like, I hope this is okay, because she made it public. But it was such a good story that your grandmother had practically the exact same limiting beliefs and thoughts that you have for yourself, and it's just proof to show that those things are passed down, whether we know it or not.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, how many people from 1979 wrote down their negative thoughts? Like, I just thought, like, dang, grandma, talk about freaking leaving me a gift here. Talk about being in tune, or like, I don't know, seeing the benefit of doing something like that. She used to go to like all the Zig Ziglar events, and she would travel around, and she really was very well read with all things healing. But 1979 was the year I was born. And that was the year that she wrote down all of her negative thoughts. Who knew that I would end up going through coaching where I was required to do that and sit down and write that down. And then we were able to find it after 10 years after she'd passed too, or graduated. That's what she would prefer me say.
Yes, yeah, it's so wild. And I love that you shared that with me because Dan and I both were like, that's perfect. We got to share that.
Literally. So yeah, when you guys were describing it to me, what you're wanting to do, I'm like, I am so on board with this. I want this class at the conference. So that is way cool. Well, this will be a great one for people to be able to go and listen to if they were to pick up the audios. Do you feel that if someone were listening to just the audio, that they would still be able to get a lot of benefit from the class, from the things that you guys did and taught there?
Oh, 100%. We talked more than there were things on our slides, if that made sense. So everything that was on our slides, we talked about and plus more.
That's awesome. So if you guys are interested, those of you who are watching, whether it's on the live or the replay, I do recommend you go and grab these audios. They're $25 for the whole conference. You'll be able to listen to them as many times as you want because you get unlimited access to them. It's not just for a short time or whatever. So even if you just got Annika and Dan's class, that's worth the $25, literally. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited. Yeah. And you and Dan make such a good team together. You really, really do. You guys just worked in tandem with people like all day long. It was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And I married my opposite. And so there's a lot of challenges that come with that. And if you're a fan of Carol Tuttle, I'm a type 3, he's a type 2. And we just, there's a lot of different beliefs, but as we've worked at it, as we've changed those limiting beliefs, as we've vocal mapped and did neurofeedback and biofeedback, and we've talked about it, we've been able to heal these wounds and kind of rewrite our history and explain and show our children and our family that we don't have to have a repeat relationship that we've seen in our parents and grandparents, etc.
Phenomenal. That is so cool. All right. Well, very, very good. You guys have the website now. You can reach out to them directly. And you guys, do you do the vocal mapping even like if somebody isn't in town? Is that something that they could do with you distance?
They can. They would just have to either rent or purchase the hardware. We have a hand cradle and a headset, so they can do it. It's not as easy. So most of our clients are in person, but all of my EFT clients are over Zoom.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you again for jumping on here with me today. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Have a good day.
You too. Awesome. I really just wanted to hear from some of the people who were at the conference about what their favorite stuff was. I'll share a couple of my favorites too. Aaliyah had these candles that you could tell she has manifestation, intentions. She did her own meditation as she created these. And I have 4 of them now, and I absolutely love her candles. She also does Reiki infused candles as well. The next person that was over, Lindsay and Chance, that Annika was just talking about, they're actually based in Pocatello. But I believe they might be coming to the Layton, Utah conference on April 15th. So for those of you who might be interested in participating in that, that's going to be a lot of fun. Just let me know if you're interested in that. Here's my email. You can go ahead and send me an email and I will respond. That's my private email, so you'll be able to get a hold of me. And we also have some really fun things that are happening as well starting next week. Next Tuesday, I have a class that I'm going to be starting called Energy Healing for Beginners. And if you're interested in participating in that, I'm going to go ahead and put the link up here in the comments so that you can check it out. It is $37, and that's for a 6-week class with me so that you can learn the basics of energy healing. And for those of you who are like, I'm not quite sure if that is for me, please go ahead on the link and you can check it out to see if there's, get all your questions answered and see if there's more details and more specifics there. One of the things that we really focus in on is habits that you can do that will help train your energy field to just be at a more optimal space. So ideally, it's for people who've been learning about energy healing about 0 to 3 years. But we have had veteran energy healing practitioners still join in just because it's so affordable. They're like, why not? Right. And they're like, wow, I learned so much, things that they're now teaching their clients, things that they do on a regular daily basis for themselves, for their own habits, and then also for family members as well. So that's really fun. We do that at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays. But if you like work or you go to school during that time, they are live. It's me talking and teaching, and we do lots of hands-on things, but they're also recorded. So even though they're live, they're also recorded. So you can review them as many times as you'd like, or you can also, watch it if you're not available during the time of the live class as well. So lots of fun things. And I'd love to make sure that you guys know about that, because it's on conference special right now for that $37 price. We also have some bonuses that we are extending through this week for those of you who would like to go ahead and join in. One of those things is 2 tickets to either the April 15th conference or the March 25th conference. So the March 25th conference, if you haven't heard, is our bilingual event. You can come and totally be able to get everything, whether you speak English or Spanish. So it doesn't matter. Even if you're not Spanish speaking, you can still come and fully participate. And it will have translators there as well with the vendors. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We also have our June 9th and 10th summer event is on the schedule, and tickets are now available as well. So if you haven't, check that out. Make sure you put that one on your calendar. We are expecting 2,500 people for that event, and we'll have double the amount of speakers that we did to our last Ogden conference, and double the amount of vendors as well. So double the speakers, double the vendors, and it's over a 2-day event. So it's going to be huge. We're so excited. So we will, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, but I'll be back on later this week, and we'll go ahead and do another Facebook Live with you all. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate you so much.